In the book, people tell each other a lot of fairy tales. So I'm going to read you one today from the book. This takes place on the day that Kaisa comes to visit Ash at her house for the first time. She just kind of shows up in the back gate. Kaisa looked up at Ash. "Do you have a favorite tale?" she asked. Ash shrugged. She began to peel an apple. "I'm not sure," she hedged. "I have a favorite," Kaisa said. "Do you wish to hear it?" Ash was surprised, and the paring knife slipped and nicked her finger, leaving behind a thin line of blood. "Be careful," said Kaisa, and reached out to take the knife away from her. Ash relinquished it, and the huntress slid the blade under the rosy skin of the apple, peeling it off in a single, smooth strip. Ash sat down across from her, and the huntress began to slice the apple as she spoke. It is about one of the earliest huntresses in the kingdom, Neve, who was the daughter of a powerful green witch. When the king chose Neve as his huntress, he asked her to teach his daughter, Rosh, to hunt. As they rode together, week after week, Neve found that she was falling in love with Rosh, and her heart ached, for Rosh was promised to the prince of a neighboring kingdom, and she loved him with a purity of heart that Neve could not change. So Neve went to her mother, the powerful green witch, and begged for a potion that would change Rosh's heart. But her mother knew that such a potion would be a dark magic, and though she wanted her daughter to be happy, she told her, "If you wish the impossible, you must be willing to give up everything you hold dear." She told Neve that the only way Rosh could be made to love her was if Neve sought out the fairy queen and asked her to grant this wish. Neve saw no other choice. She rode off in search of the road to Tenenli, the city of the fairy queen. When Neve came to the fairy queen's palace, she presented herself at the great diamond doors and asked for admission. The fairy queen, they say, was more beautiful than any creature in the land, and every human who saw her would fall in love with her upon first sight. When Neve saw her, she did indeed think her very beautiful, but she remembered why she had come, and she asked for her wish. The queen agreed to grant her wish on one condition. If Neve remained in Tenenli for 10 years and acted as the queen's own huntress, then, at the end of that time, she could return to the human world, and Rosh would love her. So Neve accepted the condition. 10 years was nothing compared to a lifetime, she thought. But as the years passed, she discovered that she loved Rosh less and less, and the fairy queen more and more. The queen herself found that her admiration for Neve was turning into love. So at the end of the 10 years, she asked Neve if she truly wanted her wish to be granted, and Neve wept openly and said that she loved the queen and no longer wished for Rosh's heart to change. And the queen took her in her arms and kissed her, and Neve spent the rest of her days in Tenenli, happily at the side of the fairy queen. When Kaisa finished the story, the apple had been sliced neatly into 6 wedges, the skin coiled like a ribbon around them. "Please," said the huntress, "will you eat?" Ash picked up a piece of the apple and bit into it, and the flesh was crisp and sweet.